The wine we're tasting today is the Rewild Prosecco 2022, and this is produced by the Duxton Vineyards group. Duxton is a broad-based agricultural company which grows fruits and nuts and even livestock, I think, in South Australia largely. And these vineyards are basically the Murray-Darling region, which is inland and near the Murray-Darling river system, and that produces large quantities of really inexpensive grapes. And it's a good place for growing wine that's as cheaply priced as this. $10 or $9.99 is not a lot of money. And this is a young wine, of course, 2022, very young, and we will expect a very fruity, fresh wine, not a complex wine, that's for sure. The wine has plenty of bubbles, it's good and lively. Have a look at that. There's plenty of fizz there, and nice cordon of bubbles on the surface, pale yellow colour, as you'd expect. It's less than a year old. And the wine just smells fruity. It smells herbal, grassy, a touch of celery there, all sorts of interesting herby type characters, but nothing complex or mature about it at all. It's very primary. There's even a hint of yeastiness there, still residual from the fermentation. Let's have a taste. How does it taste? It tastes fresh apples is the first thing that springs to mind, especially Granny Smith apples. That green and zesty, tangy taste of the Granny Smith. Lovely, simple, fruity, clean and well made. Sweetness is not an issue. Often in an inexpensive sparkling wine like this, especially a Prosecco, there'll be noticeable residual sugar. But this wine finishes with crisp acidity, it's refreshing, it's drying on the finish, appetizing. It makes you want to have another sip. So that's a pretty good example of a young Prosecco, obviously made to a price point, $10, and put onto the market very quickly after it was produced. And what's nothing wrong with that. That's actually really good everyday drinking sparkling wine, and excellent to make an Aperol spritz of as well, or a punch, or whatever drink that you might use sparkling wine in. How do we score this wine? We scored at 90, which is a really strong score for a Prosecco, and I think it's scored well for its freshness, its drinkability, the clean fruit characters that are coming through there, and exactly what you'd hope for in a young Prosecco. Drink it now, don't keep it. The food recommendation for this wine is fish and chips. Something simple, inexpensive, unfussy, and just like the wine itself. Good.